Even the boss of the first stage was a Battletoad.
Was that that's true, now you mention it. I looked at that just thinking it was like an aboriginal man or something. I didn't know what it was.
Amphibian or something.
Yeah, but now you mention it, he was Battletoad-esque. You're absolutely right. It's true.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Wah! Yep.
That's
Don't want to brag.
Yes.
I'm the voice actor for Wario.
That's true. That was spot on. That I felt like he was in the room with me. I could smell the garlic from here.
Please, ladies, one at a time.
That's
Wah!
right.
That is probably the worst bit I have done on this entire show.
It was unique. We're hilarious sometimes, remember?
Oh, all right. It's all right. We are. This week we have had we have got the the smelly privilege of playing the GameCube exclusive from 2002, right? 2002.
Yeah. Or 3.
No, 2003.
Three.
My bad. Wario World.
That was a great segue, by the way. That was class. Good segue to Wario World. But yeah, the classic GameCube game Wario World. It's like I said, it's actually quite prolific, and it was developed by a company called Treasure, which I'd never heard of before. Had you heard of it?
Same, but it's quite ironic.
Yeah, I know. I thought so as well. The premise of the game and the developer being called Treasure. But then I looked at Treasure, and they actually made the game Gunstar Heroes. Do you know that game?
They did? They made Gunstar Heroes?
Yeah, I was shocked
that game,
too.
For the Genesis?
Yeah.
What?
I know. I was shocked. I was like, whoa. You know, it was...
Okay.
So I was like, whoa, okay, that's cool. I didn't know that at all. Because Gunstar Heroes, ladies and gents, if you don't know about it, was a game released on the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on which region of the world you live in. And
what's that? Probably like 5 years prior?
Yeah, I'd say so. If not a little bit more. But it was really good. It was really well received.
I played my fair share of Gunstar Heroes, and I enjoyed every moment.
And there's quite a few games now, right? I know the original was Sega, but I know there was a few other versions of the game out on other platforms. But anyway, that was a bit of a shock.
It does make sense that I enjoyed that game, because I enjoyed Wario World as well. Yeah,
this was... Again, we all know that Wario is supposed to be the foil to Mario, so he's supposed to be, I guess, a bad guy. He's never come across truly bad, just kind of greedy. I don't know, is that just me?
A prick.
That's true. That's probably a more descriptive word for him. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right?
He is a bit of a prick. No doubt.
You're pouring out your emotions. You're telling him how you really feel. And if you glance over, he's looking at the corner, picking his nose with his pinky.
That's right. That's Wario.
That's Wario.
That's true. I wasn't expecting you to call him a prick on the off-go, so I'm a bit taken aback for the moment. But yeah, so he's kind of like, I would say he's an anti-hero, kinda. Has he done anything good apart from release lots of weird mini games?
Is he an anti-hero? I think anti-heroes eventually come round.
That's what I was thinking.
Does. He just wants his treasure back.
He's just a prick. But yeah, anyway, like I said, the storyline of this game is actually quite simple. He has a big mansion full of gold and jewels and all the lovely things he likes to keep around him. And then an evil possessed black jewel takes it all away from him.
Of course.
And then he wants it all back. So he goes to track down all his belongings and gold and stuff. So the story is fairly simple, but you don't need much.
If you say it like that, then sure, yeah, it is simple. But if you really go into the nitty-gritty of things, it's far from simple, right? Like this, you said nonchalantly, a black gem takes all of his gold away.
It's true.
What? Okay, what? This black gem has tentacles and eyes.
Okay, so it does. It does. It's certainly an evil black gem. I'm not. True. Maybe I was a little too simple with my description. And it floats. It floats as well. So it's got magic.
Like all tentacled eyes black gems do.
Of course, exactly. This, I thought this was a fairly common thing.
I think what's simple is after the initial setup, which is wacky.
Yeah.
The rest of the game is simple. You really are just going through the levels, getting your gold back.
Yeah. Which is perfect for, that's exactly what Wario was. It fits the storyline, fits his personality, and what you expect from a game of his. He's not going to be saving any princesses or taking on Bowser. Why would he? He just wants his stuff back. See, that makes sense to me, because he's Wario.
That is it. And that is Wario. And I'm genuinely impressed that so early in the era of modern gaming, Nintendo figured out who the character of Wario was, and they weren't ashamed of committing to that character.
Yeah, I agree, because, it could have been very hit and miss, couldn't it, when Wario...
Yeah, it's not really a super family type of character like Mario or Luigi. And he's just an asshole.
And there's Waluigi as well, right?
Waluigi.
Waluigi, I don't know, you say these names. Are they, forgive me, because I don't know, are Wario and Waluigi, or whatever his name is, brothers?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to say yes.
I've never actually known. I'm just asking because I've never actually known that, because I know Luigi and Mario are, so I just presumed the others were. But I'm sorry. I'm just trying to sate my curiosity. Is all I'm really doing.
They've got the same nose.
Yeah, and
right?
the same
or type of nose. Waluigi's is pointy. Wario's is fat.
But anyway, we're digressing. So.
What question is that? Now I need to Google.
Sorry, it's always bugged me.
Wario and Waluigi. Here we go.
And the answer is...
the brothers. No. Wario and Waluigi are not brothers, according to Nintendo's current story.
Oh, so
wow. According to the Super Mario Wiki, Waluigi and Wario's relationship has jumped between brothers to just friends and everything in between. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is it's complicated.
Yeah, it sounds it. Everything in between. All right. Fair. At least that's answered my question. So it's nothing to do about the game, but at least now I'm more enlightened.
Same. I didn't even think about that question.
Anyway, narratively, like we were saying, it starts off, like you said, sorry, I just said a black jewel, a big, creepy, or magical, kind of evil black jewel.
Yeah.
That awakens, because Wario initially stole it, or found it in his adventures of trying to gain more.
Yep, yeah, and his greed introduced this entire thing upon himself, right? His hubris.
Yes, correct. It's that's a nice way of putting it. Granted, I did do a bit too basic part of the storytelling, didn't I? Yes, his hubris got the better of him, and the black jewel has taken it onto itself to take away his fortune.
And now he needs to get it all back. But I mean, he's got fists of fury.
Oh, whoa! He's got. But what I like narratively, like I said, you can imagine the most of the game, like you said. Once you've got the premise down, the rest of the game is kind of just collecting your gold. There's not much else there.
That is exactly it. It's just one massive collectathon.
Yeah, exactly right. But I do like the foils you see every now and then in regards to he's not Mario. Like, Mario had mushrooms, Waluigi has garlic, which, one was cutesy, the other one is smelly, which is, granted, garlic, mushrooms and garlic is actually quite a tasty side dish, so they do pair up on occasion. Sorry, weird segue there. But I do like, and you see that throughout the game, you see that they make a point to make Wario kind of Mario's foil, but also not at the same time, because he, like you said, he's far more brutal. He beats things up and he smacks them around.
Yeah,
and
pile drivers. He throws enemies into other enemies.
Yeah, he's far more hardcore. Where Mario's, it's me, hey, and just jumps on things and dodges people. But there's an interesting way they do it, which is quite clever, and they do that narratively as well with the little things. Just the way they've made him tougher, but also like smelly, and also like gross in a lot of ways, where Mario is
dumber.
kind of the... Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting way they've done it, and they've done it throughout the years as well, be it in Strikers, Mario Strikers, and all the other things. No, it's just it's interesting to see how it comes across narratively on these little bits here and there. And of course, weirdly, he's overweight, which is...
That's right.
It's a weird foil.
I think that it was just the original Nintendo thinking, make him unattractive.
Yeah, because for some reason Mario's hot.
Him being... he is Italian.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But to a certain degree, him being overweight lends to the idea that he's quite powerful. He's quite strong.
No, he is. He's the strong type of fat.
Pick up enemies with ease, throw them, jump into the end, pile drive.
No,
it makes sense because he's fat. And you
correct.
think, okay, this is, as you said, this is like strength, this is power muscle or fat.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, no. And it works. You know,
it does. It really does.
Even though it plays like you're playing a Mario game, it does play a bit more like you're playing a grown-up Mario game. I know it's a weird thing to say, because you're just smacking things instead of delightfully watching them dance to the background music and then just bopping them on the head with your butt. You know,
I'd like to think in the original Mario games, the 2D ones, right?
Yeah.
The side-scrolling ones.
Yeah.
In the original Mario games, you never really attacked, quote-unquote, things directly. You would always jump on top of them, or you would jump on a Koopa shell, and that Koopa shell would...
And throw it, yeah, that's right.
Right, and you wouldn't even attack Bowser, you just run underneath him.
Correct, yes. A very pacifist way of defeating him.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
I like to think that Mario never directly tries to harm the creatures.
No, I agree. I think you're right.
Right, at least in those older games. But in this game, stark contrast. Wario goes out of his way to punch and kick everything he can.
He wants to beat everything up. That's true. It's another foil to the Mario character, isn't it? Where
and, I don't know,
he doesn't care.
Yeah. That is some underneath a couple of layers narrative.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think that is due in part to how Wario is actually a good character.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
I think you're right.
If something happens because of something he did unintentionally, he would play it off like that was his plan all along.
Yes, I agree.
He would take all the credit.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't do anything wrong, old Wario.
No, and that's fun.
No, it is. Wario. No, it is. It is fun. It is. It's like I said. It's throughout other games, but it's definitely there when you play it. When you play the games, even all these other games that aren't the mini game, the WarioWare type games. I forget what they're all called. You know, it is a lot more fun. His character, for me, I know I love Mario, but there's just something about beating up, I don't know, turtles and dinosaurs for some reason. Lots of dinosaurs in Mario games.
I don't get it. There
really
weird. Is just dinosaurs.
Loads of dinosaurs everywhere. But anyway, I digress. I'm going off on a tangent. It's like this was released in 2003. I was looking what other games were released in the same era for the
I have no idea. What other games do we have?
F-Zero, the racing.
Oh, okay, of course. That's for but that's for also the GameCube.
Yeah, that was also for the GameCube, but it did get released on other platforms too.
I thought the last one was for N64.
Maybe it got re-released on GameCube. I only had a quick look on the internet. I don't know which version of F-Zero. It could have been F-Zero GX or 3000 or Hyper Tension, Mega Fast. You know the names they give these things. And then other ones were like Mario Golf and SSX3. I was shocked SSX3 came out at that era.
SSX3?
Yeah.
I haven't played that in ages.
Right?
Ages.
I used to love the SSX games. Sorry, it's another nostalgia hit.
But there has to be something else that came out in 2003.
There were lots of Mario games and stuff like that, but they were the ones that kind of like...
that was just for the GameCube. What else?
Yeah.
Was there something... When did the Xbox release? Yes, so this is the Xbox PS2 era. And 2003... Okay. No, this is going to take quite a while. Let's just search 2003 games.
Well, there's going to be lots of those.
Whoa! Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, yeah, PC-wise, yeah.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Good game.
Simpsons Hit and Run. That's my jam. That is my jam.
That was a very good game out of nowhere. Sorry, it's a different game that I'm sure is on the podcast at some point, but it's a decent game.
Beyond Good and Evil, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne. Okay, 2003 was loaded.
Yeah, it really was a loaded year, no doubt.
And Wario World, I would put among these. Maybe not like on top of Knights of the Old Republic, Final Fantasy X2, Beyond Good and Evil, slightly below those, but I'd still put it up there.
It is good. The game is good. Yeah, again, it was another one where I was both shocked and not shocked because, Wario is quite an important IP, which you'd expect Nintendo not to let people slip up on. You can't make a bad Mario game or Luigi game. Even Luigi's Mansion is supposed to be quite good. I've never actually played those. So I expected it to be good, but it's a lot better than I expected. I thought this game was... Yeah, it was it was a lot... I was expecting the normal platform puzzle, beat some things up type of fare, and it's a bit better than that. I
agree. I've got some notes down. We can delve into that in gameplay. Mm-hmm. Let's go on to visuals.
Right. What do you think?
I think this game is subpar. Nothing spectacular. Nothing really spectacular. I think the levels were varied, and you could clearly see when you were in a jungle level or in a space level.
And their designs were quite clever sometimes, to backtrack or go to climb trees to go to the extra levels aspect.
That was quite fun. You could see that. Or pound through a trapdoor in the floor.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where the little puzzle rooms are. And I like a good puzzle. But visually, you're right. It wasn't really remarkable.
I don't get why it's so wacky. Why are we fighting dinosaurs? Why is
Lots of dinosaurs.
Why is there a Triceratops with a club?
I know. And then there was... Later on, what looked like Blastoise that was shooting cannon stuff at me.
Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa!"
What?
I don't know. Is there a connection between dinosaurs and Wario that we don't know?
No, not even gems.
Okay.
The only thing I could think of was this. Probably makes even less sense, but that the developer bought 3D assets and plugged them into this game.
You just had a big dinosaur file. Yeah,
they bought this dinosaur file for a couple of $1,000 and then just animated those assets.
Yeah, it is a bit strange, but I don't know. At least you don't feel bad beating up a dinosaur.
No, I don't feel bad beating up a dinosaur or a Blastoise on all fours.
Yeah, that was strange. But yeah, like I said, the characters are dinosaurs, and it's quite fun.
Even the boss of the first stage was a Battletoad.
Was that that's true, now you mention it. I looked at that just thinking it was like an aboriginal man or something. I didn't know what it was.
Amphibian or something.
Yeah, but now you mention it, he was Battletoad-esque. You're absolutely right. It's true.
It makes no sense. And the first... Okay, there are 4... we're teaching on gameplay, but there are 4 worlds, right?
Yeah.
Once you complete all 4 worlds, you unlock the huge chest, which I think is just the black gem boss fight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. The boss of the first world is it's a massive T-Rex wearing a pink bikini and a blonde wig.
There you go.
Why?
What else do you need to say?
Why?
It's like you said. It was that folder they bought. They also had Barbie's Funhouse. It was Barbie's Funhouse and dinosaurs, and they had to just combine it together. So they had to work with what they had. Yeah, that was bizarre. I was expecting a dinosaur. I'll give you that. I wasn't expecting a Barbie dinosaur. But it was wacky. I'll give it some credit.
Wacky.
It's wacky.
Wacky is the word.
It's very wacky. Which is, I don't know, at least it's exciting to think what was coming next.
Yeah,
but you're right.
It's almost like the game is keeps on being wacky for the sake of being wacky, just so you never know what to expect.
No, I agree. There's no sense or sensicalness to what's going to be behind that door in that trap door.
never expecting the final boss of the first world to be a T-Rex in a pink bikini and a blonde wig.
Yeah, who was?
What?
I know. Well, like I say, it's fun because now you're looking forward to the next world's big boss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, it is balmy and very strange, but it kind of works. I can see the fun in it, so to speak. But like you said, the graphics are still kind of meh. Like,
yes.
I don't know if I'm being mean in regards to GameCube's
No, definitely not. If I'm looking at the other games that came out in that year, this game doesn't look good.
No.
And the GameCube got, I keep saying this for other GameCube games, but the GameCube got the Resident Evil 1 remake that still holds up.
Yeah, I've heard that. Never played it.
It still looks good. And it's on the GameCube.
It's really weird. I was just thinking the same thing, like a super intense, scary game on the GameCube. It's just a very weird pairing. Like, don't get me wrong, it works, but it's a very strange pairing in my mind.
I am not going to question the Japanese.
No, it's a good idea.
That's not what I'm going to do.
That's it.
I think the final thought I've got for visuals is I like at the very start of the game you get a glimpse when you get the Wario World title, you get a glimpse of what Wario's mansion looked like before it got overthrown by this black gem. Mm-hmm. And I think it's another brilliant part on Nintendo, or who did you say was the developers? Treasure, yeah. It's another brilliant thing on their part that we could see what his a mansion looked like, and it was just gaudy as all hell.
Yeah, that's right. But he's basically Nintendo's version of Smaug or Smorg or whatever.
Just gold pillars and archways that with no purpose except to house piles of gold.
Exactly. It was all his, and he didn't care what it was as long as
the more I think about it, the more I keep thinking, yes, if Wario were to make a mansion, that is exactly what it would look like.
No, exactly right. Oh, and another weird note on narrative. Sorry, I know we jumped it. I just noticed it. There was actually an interesting thing. You know, throughout the game, you get to collect spritlings, or they help you with some hints and tips, right?
Yeah. What? Okay. Spritlings. I remember they're tiny
little elf
fairy
things.
boys.
Yeah, that's right.
Elf things.
There's an interesting thing because if you collect them all, at the end, when you've got all your money back, you'll actually have a more grandeur-based mansion. Your mansion will be bigger and better.
What?
But if you didn't collect that many, if you skip them and go past them, at the end, once you've collected all your treasure and taken down the black jewel, your housing is just a tent. You're surrounded by like the money and stuff, but you've just got a tent and a fireplace, and that's it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me those are Wario's laborers?
I guess in theory, well, I'm guessing it was more akin to fairy tale aspects, that you helped all the spritlings and thus we will help you get a bigger mansion. But because you ignored them...
For Wario.
Yeah, exactly. But if you ignored them, all he had was a tent and all his money back.
What?
Yeah, so the spritlings had a very weird way of affecting which ending you'd have, which it doesn't tell you, which is quite cool.
No, I don't know about this at all.
No, it's cool, right?
And I'm thinking Wario put them to work to build him a new
that makes
mansion.
sense. That would work with his character.
Definitely would.
I'm with you.
He really is a prick.
Yes,
Jeez.
You turned something like relatively nice, then turned it into like a slave labor story. I was like, whoa, whoa. That's right. You went deep there. I was like, wow,
Nintendo.
Okay. But yeah, it could have been that. That's true. But anyway, sorry.
I'm guessing they never say it in as much words, but the context is there.
It's more fairy godmother with magic making your pumpkin into a carriage ride. This is they made his house into a bigger house. But no, I like your weird slave labor side of things where he got all the spritlings and get them tied together and feed them gruel whilst they build me a bigger house. That sounds very...
And Wario standing there with a whip.
Yeah, exactly. Just picking his nose and eating garlic. I like it.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is...
Sorry, we're going off of one now.
We are. This is a slimy meta-narrative.
Okay. And audio, what did you think?
Audio. I think this was just a mega huge cacophony of sounds and music and Wario's I did not like this audio of this game.
There's a strange little thing. I saw that Wario is voiced by Charles Martinet again, who does the...
He is?
Mario and Luigi, yeah.
Yes, he does. Charles Martinet.
Yeah, he does Wario's...
What?
Things. He does, yeah. So just so you know, it's just a little tidbit there. He's also does Wario's voice.
This guy must have a ton of money.
Yeah, it must be strangely weird when you go into the recording studio. Okay, now do Wario, but make it some kind of weird laugh screech thing. And he's like, oh, what do you mean this? And then
people are perfect.
Well, perfect.
Oh,
How did you do
Charles.
that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? How did they go, yes, that was it. That's the sound. Well done. You know, but anyway, it happens. And he does it well. It's fine. But yeah,
I did not know that. Charles Martinet did Wario.
He did.
That's incredible. That was 20 years ago, and he still does the voices.
I know, right? I know.
Wow.
It must be so cool. It must be so cool if he's your dad or something. Like, I'm sure he must have kids, but my dad's Mario must be quite a cool thing to say.
And apparently, he is just the sweetest
I've
guy.
heard that as well. Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Are we gonna go? Are we fans of Charles Martinet?
Well, that's why people are so annoyed about the movie not having him as the lead voice, because he's also a sweet guy, and he could have, you know, it's kind of
could have
his role for a lifetime, and then they give it to Chris Pratt. I can understand people's frustration, but
no, definitely.
I'll wait for the movie to come out before I decide. Critical cinema, like I say.
Critical cinema. Well, and we that is actually a really good choice for critical cinema. Whoa,
no, exactly. That's it. It's join Patreon. Yeah.
Or we can have a bonus episode talking about this entire thing.
Exactly. Anyway, like I said, the sound effects, like you said, there was a lot there, but none of it was really stand out. Amazing. It was sound effects. It was lots of punching noises and fun
and wahs
a lot when you go down like the trapdoor type scenarios and stuff like that.
I want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
Did you ever pause the game?
I didn't know, actually.
What? You didn't?
I didn't. I just kept playing through until I wasn't.
I didn't actually expect you to say no.
What happens when you pause?
Oh, no.
Did I miss out? I missed on something great.
Yes, you missed out on something big. I wrote down for audio here. These are my words. The pause menu music makes me want to stab my ears.
So I didn't miss out. I didn't miss out. I actually had a blissful time compared to you by the sound of things.
I paused the game to go do something, and I could not believe my ears what I heard. I actually sat down and just... When you pause the game, right, you get the typical collectathon game stat page, right? You've collected 5 out of 10 crystals.
That's right.
You've got 17 coins and all of that. But the music for the pause menu is just Wario going... the entire time.
But that's quite clever because it's the same character. It actually adds the characterization of Wario in the pause menu. Whereas it's annoying to hear, but it just builds on the characterization. It's quite clever.
It is quite clever, but I mean, this is like Game of Thrones Joffrey levels of being torment. Very annoying. It's so good at being annoying that it's really annoying.
Now I can still see that same scene. Like, okay, Charles, we need a pause menu type song. Got anything for me? Oh no, I know exactly what it is. It's what brilliant,
perfect,
genius,
perfect, good. Well done, Charles. Well done.
Here's some more money. You're a genius, you know. But well, no, I'm glad I didn't pause. Now I must admit, I'm very glad.
Editor, please put that into the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It is just, listeners, beware. Oh man, no, the pause music, it was horrible. It was good, but was too good.
It is.
It was too on brand.
It's so good it was bad.
I feel like the point of having that is just... I've got another theory. I like making meta-narratives.
Go on.
The one I've got now, the developers for this game realized that Wario might be clinically diagnosed with ADHD.
Okay, I'm liking it so far.
Right? Because Wario is showing all the signs for someone that has severe ADHD. And I think they might have really honed that into the gameplay of this game.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a level, it is just 50 minutes of pure everything. There's not a single down second in this game. Even the platforming sections take 2 seconds, and then you're back into fighting or climbing or
that's very true.
collecting
That's right.
pounding through trapdoors. The puzzles take a short amount of time before you just run through them with your shoulder.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain this. This is just pure ADHD in a gameplay format, if you're in a level, mind you. And having the pause music, just somebody taunting you really annoyingly, just makes you want to unpause and go back into gameplay.
That's true. It's almost a way to stop you from pausing.
Yeah,
so you play more.
It's playing into this meta-narrative that this game has ADHD.
So your metaverse version of this is Wario has ADHD and he's a dictator that used slave labor spritelings to build his stuff. Wow,
Dave.
That's
yes.
Deep. Yeah, yes, couldn't have put it better myself, right?
Saying that this narrative is simple.
I'm sorry, it's wrong. Again, I screwed up so much. I didn't know there was so much there. Obviously, I need to look closer next time.
It's really the truth. I got down on my notes here. This is like Mario on drugs.
Yeah, no, it does come across
right,
like
you're
that.
running on made-up levels, punching dinosaurs, swallowing coins.
That's right.
Which is true. You're actually swallowing coins.
Yeah, that was a weird, like, Kirby, like, steal, wasn't it? You can just make Wario suck the coins in. Like,
yeah.
Like I thought.
No wonder he's so fat.
No, exactly. Shame. But yeah, no, I bet you, and his breath, let alone. But yeah, that's. Like I said, all I can say is bravo. Your inner workings of your mind. When I just see a black gem taking all his gold, you're seeing a slave labor dictatorship, ADHD.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
He needs
clinically
help.
Clinically diagnosed fat man.
It sounds like Wario needs help. It's like.
Yeah, Wario definitely needs help. He definitely needs help.
Does.
And the only place he actually listens for help is his non-brother Waluigi.
That's true. And he's not a good egg.
No.
Go on.
What did you want to say?
I was going to segue into gameplay.
I've been on gameplay.
I know what I'm saying.
this game, I really don't. This game is it's fast paced, right? Once you're in a level, it's just ADHD. You just speed through it until the end, and then you're back into the overworld where it's a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, you can. Like I said, there's the aspects on each level you can collect. What is it? All the golden heart things you can collect.
Yes.
All the ruby crystals, and you can collect some other little things from the puzzles you do, right? And each level actually gives you. Yeah, and they give you a little sign outside the thing to see if you've made sure that you collected them all and all this the other aspects. So for those people who are collectathons or want to get full completion, it's all there.
There we go.
And collecting coins is kind of your. Did you ever actually die? Like, did you die?
Yes.
Okay. By your own
I can't remember what happened. I think it was at this bikini-clad, wig-wearing T-Rex.
Because I never died.
Yeah.
And I'm told that's where the money mechanic was actually coming in. Because
that's right. Yes. Okay, you need to pay 100 coins to revive.
Ah, okay. Because I was wondering why I got all these coins, and I was just getting coins upon coins upon coins. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But where's the payoff? Like... But then you use them when you revive, and of course, yes, sometimes you buy garlic from the garlic machine dude for 20 coins.
That's right.
There are
occasional
purchases. You just
punch the garlic flower, and then...
Yeah. I thought that was more, because the garlic thing said, can you beat me in a fight? And then I hit it, and then it gave me garlic, and then took my money, and I was like, that's not beating you in a fight. I just smacked you. And it felt like I didn't even notice it was taking money until later, which pissed me off.
Oh, right. Well, anyway. Okay, so you actually spent a lot of money.
I was expecting a fight, but I just kept hitting him, and he gave me garlic. I was like, all right. But then I didn't read. I'm prone to that.
No, I got that as well. I can't think of anywhere else where you actually spent the money.
No, it was all this when you died, I suppose.
But I do think that mechanic is just Wario regaining his gold.
Well, like I said, I liked the puzzles. I don't know. I'm always a fan of like little puzzles. You know, the rooms you go in to get the ruby crystals. There was always like a little puzzle, albeit a platforming one or a timing one, or move the pieces to build a bridge type scenario. I even like those little balls that float, which you
that you can climb onto.
Yeah, and you have to orientate yourself to the sphere to do the puzzles. Those are quite clever.
I really like those as well. And what I also genuinely enjoyed about those tiny challenges is your camera plays an integral part in solving those. And in this one instance, the camera works really well.
No, they're well thought out. Even though, you're playing a Wario game, whoever was the puzzle maker, or whatever the term would be in the industry, they're actually quite clever. It took me a little while on occasion to be, okay, sorry, I've broken too many bricks, so I have to restart it, or something.
Yeah.
And they get progressively a little harder as you play as well. So I'm always a fan of the puzzle things within games. I like to stretch my brain as much as it can when it can. And like you said, gameful-wise, it is very brutal. It is, like you said, very fast-paced. You're picking up dinosaurs, you're throwing them around. You're all you are is just hitting anything that comes close to you. Just
no downtime. No downtime.
No, you just, which is, like I say, it's enjoyable for what it is. But another thing, it's not particularly long. The game.
Nope.
It is properly short, which was a bit shocking. If you compare it to other games of its genre and stuff like that, but when you're starting to actually enjoy it, and the bad guys are starting to get a bit harder or a bit more fleshed out, and then it's the big boss fight. I must admit, the boss fights were quite fun as well. It's not Elden Ring levels of learning the fighting mechanics, but learning the patterns, and even the first fight against the Battletoad dude that you mentioned.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was dodging him until he did a certain attack, and then you beat him up, and I threw him, right? I'm guessing that's
right. Yeah, you throw him out.
But you could also dodge him when he was chasing him to have him fall out, which I found out. Yeah, I found that accidentally. So when he's doing his rampage, if you go to the edge and just dodge out the way, he falls into the pit anyway.
Oh,
so
I never knew that.
There's a couple ways of beating the bad guys, which were thought out of as well, which is I liked that. That.
Oh, that is nice.
Gameplay-wise, that's quite fun, and it was fun to meet each bad guy and try to work out. I know it's in all Mario games and most games to do it, but there's a weird enjoyment to playing these brightly coloured games and working out, like Kirby games and the like. Just working out the patterns and stuff like that is quite enjoyable.
What these Nintendo games do really well is at the start of the game they introduce a couple of mechanics, just simple mechanics. In this case for Wario, it is spin to throw, ground pound to pile drive, and there's certain things you can grapple on, climb on, and then throughout the entire game they experiment and let you figure out different gimmicks, but for these same mechanics over and over.
Yeah. They recycle the mechanics, but different ways of using them.
Exactly. So my favorite big boss, the T-Rex with the bikini, her tail had one of those balls you could climb onto.
That's right.
So when you climb onto that and she looks on the ground for you, her tail would be above her head.
Yep.
And a simple ground pound would take her out. And I thought, that's cool.
It is, yeah. It's a clever way of doing it. Oh,
it takes gameplay mechanics you've learned and then teaches you something new.
Another weird thing that happened, I'm sure it happened to you, and I was like, whoa, that's creepy. Did you ever... Granted, when people are talking and those sprites were talking, I kind of... Sometimes I'm so used to just pressing next, I don't really listen to them. And then I crossed a bridge that then fell apart, and I fell down into this gorge.
Yes.
And then, I don't know what was happening there, but there was these big, scary ghost things trying to eat me. And I was like, what? I had no clue what was happening. I was running around, breaking treasure chests, trying to think, where did this come from?
Okay. I know exactly what part you're talking about. There is a spriteling just before that bridge. Did you not listen to what that spriteling said?
No, I didn't. I just pressed it, and I saw two bridges, and I presumed one of them was going to fall, because that's fairly normal gameplay. When I got down to the bottom, I thought I was going to do like a game over, then like respawn at the beginning, because I chose the wrong bridge. But then I went to this dark, scary, like things trying to eat me, like the shadow realm of like Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, I should really read. What was going on there then?
Yeah, the spriteling said, if you in certain spots on the level, if you fall down, you actually fall into a certain bad guy's lair.
Oh wow! Okay,
you fall into his lair, and his minions will
Yeah.
take your. They'll take your money.
Not
They'll
money.
take your money before. Yeah, that's Wario's favorite thing.
So basically, it's the taxman. You fall into a pit with the taxman who wants your money. It's
Yes,
like
and
real
then
life, but symbolic.
You need to destroy boxes to find the spring to get out. All the
okay.
other boxes are full of bombs.
Oh really? Oh, I got lucky then because I actually hit the right box then. I didn't know they were.
Oh, and you got the spring on the first
yeah,
try.
I did. Yeah, like I say, I was just very confused. And does that happen? Okay.
Yeah.
That was a weird little bit to put in there that you go into like another world of a bad guy that wants your money.
Did it not happen to you again?
It did, but I still didn't know what was going on. But yeah, it did happen to me a number of occasions because the control.
It happened to me.
Yeah, the control scheme was a bit weird sometimes. Yeah,
a ton of times I fell into this place, and then I would smash all the boxes. On certain times, the last box would have the spring.
Yeah, it's always the way, isn't it? Yeah.
That's annoying.
Yeah, no doubt. That's but it happens. It's just it's like I said, that bit shocked me, but it was a fun bit of gameplay. Apart from that, I liked the boss fights, like you said, were very varied and very fun to work out what their weaknesses were.
That's usually the case for Nintendo.
Yeah, no,
games,
exactly.
Right?
They
like to make the boss fights fun and have a gimmick thrown in.
Yeah, same with all Mario games as well, be it the role-playing ones or even 64. Picking up Bowser by the tail and swinging him around, and
Exactly.
Galaxy had great ones as well. I remember Mario Galaxy having great boss fights.
But again, that's just it's they've got this formula where they take all the mechanics that they've taught you at the start, and then each boss fight you need to defeat them with these mechanics, but they throw a gimmick in there.
Yeah, which is the fun part. It is the fun part, that little...
Exactly.
That's right, little seasoning
So,
at the end.
Throughout the entire game, all the bosses and levels, you play with the mechanics that you've learned at the start of the game with a certain gimmick thrown in. It's genius.
Yeah, they do that very well. Like Nintendo in general just do that very well.
Yes,
and
it's good.
And it's here as well. Did you experience any bugs at all?
I did not. I did not know.
No, nor me.
I think they did a very good job with hiding the loading screens.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Which is
in the loading screens, if you go to one of those challenge rooms underground, right, they hide a loading screen behind a cutscene of Wario falling.
Yeah, that's right. That was quite clever, and yeah, the psychedelic trail behind him as he's doing so.
Yes,
yeah.
It feeds into my meta narrative that they want no downtime in this game because this game has ADHD.
Yeah, no, it does, no doubt. It's a. You're right. It's. But I didn't experience any bugs either. But then it's the same thing we say about the other games. It was an era of gaming which you didn't have them. It was built to a certain spec, and very rarely did you have games with bugs.
Especially from a Nintendo first-party title.
No, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. There's a pedigree there that it's always paramount to when they release
exactly.
games.
Because last week we did Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire, and the performance was horrid.
Oh, no, it was the worst.
And that was also on a Nintendo console.
Yeah, but again, third party instead of Nintendo. See, that's the big difference right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
This one, not the case.
No. This was polished. This was a polished Nintendo game through and through. Apart from the graphics and the sound, it was still quite a joy to play. You thought the same, right? If not short.
I did. No, it was definitely a joy to play. I think because the reason it was so short, you mentioned this in an episode a couple of months ago. This was still in the era where a lot of games are rented from Blockbuster or whatever.
That's right.
And this is the perfect game. If you've got a GameCube, this is the perfect game to rent for a Friday evening. You and your buds over, you've got some pizza. Went to Pizza Hut, and now you went to Blockbuster. You got a movie, and you're renting this game. You play it for an evening. You get through, 2, 3, 4, all 4 worlds, and you collect things.
Yeah, easy.
Right? This is the perfect game for that.
It is. And maybe, like you said, in that era, games were modeled to that situation quite a lot. Because, Blockbuster back in the day was massive. And the renting games thing was a huge... had a huge following. It was a generational thing.
Definitely.
Everybody had a Blockbuster's card or a version of Blockbuster's card on them.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
games were aimed at that type of scenario.
It was this or Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
exactly
imagine
those games. That's exactly right. And what did a value for money wise? This is what got me. That got me a bit surprised. Could you?
Yeah, this is tricky. This I did not know. I'm imagining we've got the same thing in mind here. So this game got released in 2003 as a Nintendo first-party title for the GameCube, and since then, the value for a physical copy of this, has risen.
Yeah, right.
A lot.
Yeah,
lot. Right. I found a copy a physical copy of this online for $160.
Yeah, I found secondhand easily $100 or so. It's obviously a little like grail of a GameCube physical, like complete in box. Yeah, it's one of those ones. If you've got it, ladies and gents, dust it off and keep it safe because this game's expensive. Like, whoa.
I'm guessing you'll know better than I. But was this a limited run print?
GameCube, most of their games in theory are relatively limited run. Apart from GameCube didn't have the greatest or longest era of gaming because straight after the GameCube it was the Wii, right?
Yeah, it was, and the Wii was a mega hit,
massive hit. So
I'm guessing during the GameCube it was PS2 that took the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. And they stopped supporting the GameCube as soon as the Wii became the phenomenon that it was. So apart from America, which of course the number of games made and published in America are massively different compared to Europe and stuff like that. You can get your hands on a lot of things, but it's any like well-known Wii game, be it or not Wii game, GameCube game, be it either Mario games or the Mario parties and stuff.
Or they're all worth Wind Waker even.
Yeah, they're all worth a small premium now because the GameCube kind of had a small like life, especially when it got dwarfed by the Wii, and like you said, the PlayStation 2 outsold it outsold everything by a long shot in that era. So any GameCube games, as long as they're like main title ones, are actually all worth a fair bit of money now. As was shown, secondhand over $100 for it's a short game. It's a good game, but it's still a short one. So it's more collector than anything else.
Right. That's it. These are collector items by now, and they're just gonna rise in value as time goes on. It is mind-boggling because this is crazy. A game. You're a fat man with ADHD fighting a gem.
That's right. That's literally it.
The actual value in the game. It's nice, it's fun, but it's short, and it's nowhere near $100 or $160.
No, I agree. If you were buying it just for the gameplay itself and playing the game, it's not even close for $100. But the nostalgia and the shelf...
Exactly. The nostalgia hit, you're right.
Yeah, exactly right.
I've also written down in my notes, the price for this game being $100, $160, that's not really Nintendo's fault.
No, it isn't. No, I agree. It's the marketplace. It's the generational thing. It's a lot of things. But yes, you're right. It's not Nintendo's fault at all.
They just printed this game, sold it for, I'm guessing, $60 at the time, and then stopped. That is it. That is what they did.
That's exactly right. But it's
I'm guessing
industry we're in right now. The marketplace we're in right now. Sorry,
it is.
Old games are getting up there in price. People want to keep them and look at them for nostalgia hits and stuff like that. It's quite. From my perspective, I enjoy seeing older games. Like I said, I'd love to have some older games on my shelves just to look at, but I sadly played them all. They're all either destroyed, missing, or something like that.
I'm guessing a big reason for this rise in value for games like these on the GameCube and such is because Nintendo really hasn't made them accessible in any other means.
No, correct. That's very true. Yes, there isn't like their
we can't play
or something.
Right, you can't play Wario World.
No, you can't.
Any other way.
No, not at the moment anyway. I guess Switch might eventually release GameCube games and stuff like that, but probably not. It's a lot of work for a very small payoff if they release the GameCube and say the other things. I know they're just releasing the Game Boy Advance stuff on Nintendo Switch, aren't they? Did I read that the other day?
Yeah, they've got Game Boy Advanced. If you're Nintendo Online expansion pack subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
But and then just normal Game Boy games for any others.
But like I said, it's like you were right. It's hard to get hold of, and like you said, there is no other way of getting it. There is no So that's the price point is more than likely due to that, like you said.
I think I can't even remember what I scored it.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Nor do I.
But besides that, I quite enjoyed this game. There are some parts that could have been improved, like the visuals, which were just like subpar, and the audio, which was just downright annoying. And that pause menu, that pause menu music alone, it just knocked 2 points off of my audio score. Somehow, it's so on brand with Wario and how annoying he is, but damn, it's a bit too good.
It got under your skin. Yeah, no, okay, fair enough.
It really did. So anyway, we took all of our points. We built it a mansion made of gold, but one of our points turned to be a black tentacly 2-eyed point. Well, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Tentacly. I like that. Tentacly. That's a word. That's a word.
Our main man, Charles Martinet, got all our points back together and rebuilt our mansion with the help of sprite slaves. And I need to write these down beforehand.
You dare say this is good. I'm enjoying it.
Hey, and this new mansion, we're giving it a letter grade rating. Oh, for Wario World 2003, we're giving it a letter grade rating of C-,
which isn't too bad. Like I said,
it's not too bad.
C- to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So
it's average. It's an average game. It's Persona Revelations, which spawned one of the biggest franchises.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, from small
C- is
go
average.
Trees. Yeah, it is a C- game. It is short. It is fun. It is sweet, but that's about it. It's not a game you go back to play again. Once you've completed it, you've completed it. You don't go, oh, I need to throw a T-Rex around a bit, so I'll play this.
No, I don't. But maybe 20 years later,
yeah,
you do get a nice nostalgia bump.
It's true. It's weird to think that's 20 years old.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Critical Arcade podcast. You could, if you'd be so kind, you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get a podcast. It helps us a ton in the for us getting recognized by any other listeners. You can follow us on our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram, and on our email. You can catch me on nick@criticalarcade.com.
And I'm at dave@criticalarcade.com.
That's right. But besides for your email, Dave, where can we follow you?
Well, you can totally follow me around. I am out and about, but just know that if you do, I actually do have one of those little garlic making machines now. I befriended him, and he now walks around with me, and if you do come close, I will make him feed you a entire bulb of garlic each time you take one step towards me. So each time. Now, some people will think, well, that's quite healthy. You're right. Garlic is healthy. But an entire bulb continuously for every step. That's what will happen. Say goodbye to your kids and your girlfriend and everybody else.
It's
because you're going to
just
stink.
garlic. It's garlic.
You're going to stink. That's what's going to happen.
If you don't want to follow them, you can support us on Patreon for exclusive content. You can catch bonus episodes that we release weekly, or a brand new show, Critical Cinema, where we
make him watch Jaws and E.T. and all the other things he should have watched by now.
There are too many movies that Dave's going to make me watch in Critical Cinema, so subscribe on our Patreon to catch that. Jeez, that caught hard.
Sorry, I'm probably a bit too aggressive. But anyway, next
what can we expect next week?
Next week's game is a bit of a shocker. I'm sure it adds a little dread to Nickel and I when I say it. It is Digimon World 3.
Oh, no.
Now, ladies and gents, our first game we ever reviewed was Digimon World 1 for the PlayStation 1. And this wasn't our favourite game. Our first game, for example, got an F.
Far from it.
It's one of 2 games that has received an F, and that was our first. And now we're going to Digimon World 3. I wonder if the third iteration can be so much better than the first. It wouldn't be hard to be better than the first, to be honest with you. But I look forward to seeing, and this was still PlayStation 1, so this was still PlayStation 1 era, and they had a third. So I look forward to seeing how that plays out.
I really wish that they improved the formula.
And they've got to, right?
I can't take another Digimon World 1.
Like I say, they've got to. But
we'll see. Do it.
We'll see.
Anyway, that's next week. Thanks again for tuning in this week for the Critical Arcade podcast. We'll see you next week. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.